The mother dog clearly wasn't acting normal that night. The puppies were still eating as usual, but she suddenly started barking frantically. Then, without warning, she forced all of her puppies back into the doghouse. Even one that hadn't finished eating was carried back in her mouth. After making sure all the puppies were safe, she immediately ran to the window and began barking loudly toward the inside of the house as a warning. At first, the grandfather and the little girl inside the house didn't pay attention, until the grandfather noticed in horror that the water cups on the table were shaking violently. The mother dog's barking became more and more urgent, but in the next second, she was suddenly thrown backward by a shockwave. The window exploded instantly, and the entire house began to shake violently. By the time they reacted, there was no way out anymore. As the cabinet collapsed, the grandfather could only tightly shield the little girl. After the aftershock ended, the house had already turned into ruins. The mother dog completely lost control. She desperately dug through the rubble trying to save her owners. She kept digging from night until morning. Her paws were already torn and bleeding. The puppies also tried to help, but they still couldn't reach the trapped people. Just then, she suddenly picked up a familiar scent, as if she had found hope again. She immediately ran toward the source. And indeed, two rescue workers appeared nearby. The mother dog couldn't speak, so she could only bark frantically at them, then immediately ran back toward the ruins. The two rescuers quickly followed her, and eventually arrived at the scene, where they found the trapped grandfather and granddaughter. At that moment, a rescue helicopter arrived, but the wind was too chaotic for landing, so it could only hover and lower ropes. The seriously injured grandfather was lifted up first, and taken onto the helicopter. Then they prepared to rescue the granddaughter. The girl kept begging, hoping they could also take the puppies with them. But urgent instructions came from the helicopter. The grandfather was losing too much blood and needed immediate treatment, otherwise he could die at any moment, which meant the puppies had to be left behind. In the end, the girl was lifted onto the helicopter, and left with heartbreaking cries. The mother dog could only watch helplessly as her owners flew farther and farther away, barking desperately the whole time. Even after the helicopter disappeared into the distance, she still refused to accept that they were gone, and kept chasing after it. But the gap only grew wider, until she finally stopped in place, watching it vanish into the sky. Although heartbroken, the mother dog still believed her owners would come back. So she stayed in the ruins with her puppies, waiting. But reality grew harsher. Food became scarce. Cold weather set in. Aftershocks kept coming. The puppies even started chewing on wood to survive. The mother dog had no choice but to return to the ruins again, and luckily found half a bag of dog food. But before she could relax, she noticed a group of crows attacking her puppies. She immediately rushed over to drive them away. In the struggle, a deep wound was torn across her face. Blood kept flowing, but she never took a single step back, until the crows finally left. To keep her puppies alive, she gave all the food to them, but it was still far from enough. That night, a heavy rainstorm arrived. With nowhere to shelter, they could only curl up under the ruins, trembling. The mother dog finally realized there was no point in waiting anymore. She decided to set out to find her owners. She picked up the owner's toy ball in her mouth and led her puppies onto the road, and the real test was only just beginning.